All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 83 of Pozios Picks. In today's episode, we are going over the Week 9 college football slate. And to help me out again, I'm welcoming Parker. Parker, welcome on. Thanks for coming on again, brother.
Theo, thank you so much. It's a big one this week. It's a big pick 'em, so I'm
Yep,
excited to be on for this one.
it sure is. If hopefully you guys remember 2 weeks ago. Parker, what do we go? 9-3, 8-4, something like that.
I mean, just throwing W's out there left and right. I mean, I hope
Yeah,
everyone was tailing on it or riding with us. So,
Yeah, that was a great Saturday. So we're gonna look to repeat that today. So let's just get right into it. First game on the slate, Ohio State are 15.5 point favorites going to Penn State. The total in that game is 62. This game is interesting, especially after what we've seen from both these teams lately. Ohio State and that offense really look unstoppable. I mean, they dropped 54 points on Iowa, and Iowa's defense is literally their only good quality. Penn State got manhandled by Michigan 2 weeks ago, but then they responded with a big win at home, easily covering against Minnesota. I think one interesting thing to note in this one is really neither of these teams have played a great offense this year, except for, you could argue, maybe Michigan for Penn State, but Ohio State has played some bad offenses this past month or so. I think Penn State and that young talent on that side of the ball are getting better and better as the season goes on. I think this Ohio State offense is only going to improve. Penn State also has some of that home crowd in their favor. This spread's a little tricky to me, Parker. I don't know what you think, but like I said, both these teams haven't really played the greatest offenses, and they've still given up some points. So my favorite play for this game is going to be the over 62. I think this play is either it's one of those plays that it's a blowout winner or it's just not even going to be close. But I like our chances, especially with the Ohio State offense in this one. What do you think, Park?
I totally agree, Theo. Ohio State just is a well-oiled machine that's never going to stop. They played, like you said, they played a great Iowa defense last week, and they absolutely just manhandled them.
Yeah.
So in the great state of Ohio too. So I think Ohio State's just gonna. I think they're gonna absolutely annihilate Penn State this game. I just don't see it being close. If this game was a night game and a whiteout at Penn State, I think it'd be a little bit different
Yeah,
story.
I
But it's
agree.
not.
I
It's at
don't I,
noon.
I don't know why it's not. That's but
I know. We'll get to later on why that should have been a night game instead of
right.
the actual night game. But
Mhm.
um, so yeah, I think it plays a factor in it. It doesn't matter who CJ Stroud throws to at this point. They're gonna get at least 15 yards per touch. So they're gonna and gets the Penn State defense too that just absolutely lost their whole identity last week against Michigan and it got manhandled on the ground. So I like Ohio State in this one. I also don't think Penn State can keep up offensively, even though Ohio State's defense is still not as good as what it used to be in past years. I just have no trust in Sean Clifford again, even though they might have a solid running game. I just like Ohio State to cover the minus 15 and a half and also the total over 62. So
I like it. I like it. On the same page. That could be a decent game. Penn State always has kind of played them kind of close. They never beat them, but who knows? I mean, Ohio State, that offense just looks unstoppable. So
yeah, and I think it could be close in the first half, like Penn State Michigan was last week, but I think they're just going to blow the doors open in the second half.
yeah, yeah, 100%. All right, moving on. Next game, TCU are 7.5 point favorites going to West Virginia. The total in this game is 68.5. I mean, this game just feels about as Big 12 as it gets. TCU obviously still undefeated going into this tough matchup on the road. West Virginia gives up a ton of points, and this TCU offense still one of the best in the country, still averaging almost 45 points a game. West Virginia hasn't looked that good on offense lately, but I think they'll be able to move the ball, especially at home. I love the over in this game. Give me all of it. Over 68.5. And keep an eye on our picket. I might add TCU team total over 38.5, but I'm a little bit scared of them on the road. But I think this game goes way over. I think both teams just go back and forth up and down the field. So give me the over 68.5 as my official play in Morgantown.
I love that pick, Theo, and I'm gonna ride with that as well. I think there's gonna be points galore. I don't even see a punt happening in this game, for Christ's sake. I think the biggest thing with this game and betting this game is the line. TCU minus 7.5 going into Morgantown, and it's not like it's not at night, but it's still at Morgantown at noon. And crazy things can happen there sometimes. You saw it in the past years. They play Oklahoma tough.
Yep.
They played a lot of top opponent stuff, and I think it's going to be a pretty close game. I think it's going to be a back and forth shootout, and I like TCU minus 7.5, or excuse me, West Virginia 7.5 plus 7.5. I think it's going to be a close game, and I like that. I think they have a great quarterback in JT Daniels, and they've been a little down, but in the past couple of games, but I think they're going to find their footing against a really bad TCU offense. So, I think it's going to be a close game, and I just don't see Max Duggan and their best receiver, Quentin Johnson, sold at town anytime soon. So, give me TCU plus 7, or excuse me, West Virginia plus 7.5, and the total over.
Yeah, this just feels like one of those Big 12 games that whoever's got the ball last is in a good position to win. So, West Virginia having that home field advantage, I like that play as well. The line scares me, but I think this game goes way over. All right, speaking of another kind of crazy line, and it terrifies me. This line is so gross. It doesn't make any sense. Notre Dame is going to Syracuse. Syracuse are 2.5-point favorites at home. I mean, I feel like especially at home with Cuse, how they've looked, they should at least be a touchdown favorite in this game, especially Notre Dame too. I mean, they stink. If you're using like an old school gambling brain here, this screams take Notre Dame. I mean, there's no reason that Notre Dame should be at this number, in my opinion. It feels like Vegas knows something, but I think I'm going to fall into the trap. I'm going to take Syracuse. The Dome is just such a tough place to play. Cuse is in a good bounce-back spot. I know it's a big letdown how they lost that game to Clemson last week, but I just don't think the Notre Dame offense is going to be able to have any success. This Syracuse defense is pretty good, and I don't think Notre Dame's going to have enough success to go in there and beat them. So give me the orange. I think they win this game by a field goal. I'll take Syracuse minus 2.5.
Man, this game is so interesting because I feel like I get it, and Notre Dame has just been obviously not the same Notre Dame of past years. You got a coach that just is brand new. Quarterback controversy. One got hurt in the beginning of the season, and I don't know. To be honest with you, I haven't really watched Notre Dame that much this year.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't really know how they are because I watched the first couple of weeks and they've looked like complete shit.
Yeah.
So. But the thing is that they've come back pretty nicely, seeing what their record is and who they played. They had a nice win against UNC. It's at the Dome, though, and Syracuse has looked like one of the best, Syracuse teams in a long time. I don't know. This is really close. I hate the minus 2.5. I'm not going to go anywhere near that. I like the under 48, though. Give me the under 48.
I like that play.
A defensive battle in the Dome. I just don't, Sean Tucker's a great running back for Syracuse. He's elite. But I just think Notre Dame's just going to load the box up and they're going to stop him. And I think it's just going to be a back-and-forth battle. I think it could be, like I said, it could be a Syracuse field goal. Notre Dame could win by 1. I have no idea. So I'm not taking the points. I'm taking under 48.
No, I like that play. I was definitely leaning under, too. This game is gross. This line is gross. But I agree. It's going to be defense all day. So, I mean, it should be a good game. If you like a lot of points, I wouldn't watch it. But in terms of the actual football game, it should be good. All right, moving on. I'm going to get through this one quick because it is our out of place game as usual. But I got to take them. Charlotte is going to Rice. Rice are 16.5-point favorites. The total's 59.5. They keep making it back on my cards every Saturday somehow. I got to give them one more shot. They've let me down the past couple of weeks, but I mean, last week Charlotte were 14-point favorites at home and they lost by 21. I mean,
Lord.
Their defense stinks. That's been the one consistent with Charlotte this year. That defense is horrible. They're not getting any better as the year goes on. They're getting worse. This Rice team's no pushover either. They can score some points. Rice is back home after a couple weeks on the road. I'm taking Rice. I'm just gonna hold my nose and take it. Rice team total over 38 points, and give me Rice to cover 16.5. Charlotte is horrible, and I'm just gonna go back to just straight up fading them. So those are my two plays there. Rice team total over 38, and then Rice minus 16.5 at home.
Yeah, I mean, when we talked last time, it was an unfortunate loss in that game for a bet. And again, I don't really know much about Charlotte. I know that they have a bad defense, and you're right, they're god awful.
They're still giving up 530 yards a game.
That is just absolutely embarrassing. That's even worse than Michigan State, and that's hard to do. My God. I mean, considering what you've been saying, and Rice is 4-3. They've scored some points in the past. Yeah, I'm gonna ride with you, man. Minus 16.5. I mean, how the hell are you minus 15.5 favorites last week and you lose to FIU?
That's by three touchdowns, not just lose. They got embarrassed.
Downright embarrassing. Oh my God.
Yeah. So that's that one. Moving into some Big Ten play here. Talk about, I mean, some of these games just stink.
Hey, if you like offense, don't watch this next game.
Exactly. Northwestern is going to Iowa. The total is 37.5. This game stinks, but I don't think I've seen a game, Parker, that I want to actually root for the under more than this one. This total,
oh my God.
This total's telling you the whole story of these teams. They're both horrible on offense, decent on defense. I mean, Iowa's better than decent on defense. They're only giving up 16 points a game so far this season, and that's even after giving up 50-plus last week. Iowa's back at home after 2 weeks on the road. I know they want to bounce back after that game last week. I honestly would be surprised if Northwestern had any success moving the ball at all. I mean, we both know how this Iowa offense operates as well. I don't think there's going to be a lot of movement, a lot of yards. I mean, even if this one ends 21-10, and I don't think Northwestern's scoring 10 points, we win by 3.5 points. So give me the under 37.5. I hope no one scores here.
This is the mortal lock of the day, ladies and gentlemen. If you bet the over, you are a complete idiot in this game. I don't know what I'm telling you right now. These are two of the worst football programs in the country. Not just like in total, but in scoring offense. They are complete garbage. Pat Fitzgerald it's the same bullshit every year with him. He has a good team maybe once every 3 years and two dog shit teams the other 2 years. And we're right back at the dog shit team. They suck. We all know about Iowa. We talked about them before. And you talk about it, Theo, that Northwestern might struggle to run the ball and move the ball. Yeah. I think Iowa's going to do the exact same thing. I have no faith in them. I don't care if it's at home or not.
No, it's going to be.
So give me the under. Even if the total was at 25 or 23, I still would have taken the under. I don't care. Give me the under in this game, and then give me Northwestern plus 11. I don't think Iowa just has any offense to even take a lead and a management lead at that. So
yeah,
Northwestern plus 11.
I don't think they should be favored by more than a touchdown in any game.
I don't care what Vegas is saying. People, please do not take Iowa minus 11. And do not take the over. Please don't.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait until, like, betting continues to evolve, because something that I would hammer for this game, and I know you would take it too, Parker, is whatever the over punts would be. Oh, my God. There's going to be so many punts in this game. Just a crazy amount. So this game's going to be horrible. I can't wait for it to be horrible. Hopefully it goes way under. Hopefully it's 6-0 Iowa, and that's so possible.
Same here, man.
I think, like you said, one of my favorite plays of the day there. This is my favorite play of the day we're going to get into. Oklahoma State is going to Kansas State. Kansas State are 1.5-point favorites at home. The total's 56. Another really good Big 12 game here. This Oklahoma State team looks good, Park. I mean, they're 6-1. They're top 10 in the country. Kansas State is coming off of coming off that loss at TCU. I gave that one out last week. You're welcome. I'm just still not buying Kansas State. I think Oklahoma State is a really, really good team. They can really move the ball, and I'm not sure Kansas State's going to be able to stop them consistently. This line does scare me a little bit. It's been flip-flopping, moving all over the place. Adrian Martinez has been not practicing. It's been all over the place. One play I love, I think it's my play of the day, Oklahoma State team total over 27.5. This offense is really good, and I think they easily score 4 touchdowns in this one. That's going to be my play for this game.
Man, I love that, and I think I'm going to go with that too. K-State's had a pretty good year, and it's because of their rushing attack with Deuce Vaughn. He's a pretty fast little mother effer, and Adrian Martinez, like we said, he's been a Heisman finalist, to some, with how he's played so far. No interceptions at all, which is something that really bugged him in Nebraska. But like you said, the biggest thing in this game for me is that, their head coach said that, he hasn't practiced on Tuesday, he didn't practice on Wednesday, and he didn't practice yesterday, which is really concerning. And also to note that their backup also has not practiced and is still not healthy. So if they're going to their third-string quarterback, I just don't see them winning this game. I think this is a total joke of a line, even though it's at home. I'm taking Oklahoma State plus 1.5 as well. And then this over-under is kind of interesting because Oklahoma State could score will with Spencer Sanders. They got a good trio of wide receivers as well. The thing is, though, that he is a little banged up too. He's got a shoulder problem, so he's not going to be throwing as much. But I like Oklahoma State over on points, but I'm going to take the total. I'm going to take the under on the over/under. So I just don't think K-State's going to score that many points if they don't have their first or second string quarterback in the game. So.
Yeah, I like that, Park. I didn't know that about the backup either. So throw Oklahoma State on my card too. I like them a lot, and they're coming off a good win last week. So
yeah, against Horns Down, Texas. So
yeah, that's right. All right, next game on the card. Not a great game, but an interesting line, I think. Wake Forest are 3.5-point favorites going to Louisville. The total 64 here. This Louisville team has had a lot of ups and downs throughout the season. Even though this line scares me a little bit, I think I got to roll with Wake Forest here. 2 very talented quarterbacks, but I just think Wake Forest is the much better team, even on the road. Sam Hartman and his play, I think they're going to carry Wake Forest in this one, and I think they cover this number. Give me Wake Forest -3 at Louisville. I'll buy a half point.
I like that. I'm gonna roll with that. Like you said, Louisville's had some up and downs this year. They've just been kind of average. I don't really got too much to say. They got a good quarterback in Malik Cunningham, but I don't know. They've just been so consistent. I get it's at home, but I don't really know. I like Wake Forest -3.5. Sam Hartman just lights that mother effing thing up, and they got such a good offense, even though their defense isn't that great. So just give me Wake Forest -3.5 here. I think the total. Oh, man, I don't know. 64.
I'm leaning over, but I don't think I'm going to bet it.
That's a really tough one. Yeah. You know what? Give me the over because Wake Forest can put up a bunch of points. I think Louisville will put up enough points because they're at home where I think they will, score to get it to the over. So those are my picks.
I like that. All right, next game, a really, really good one here in the SEC. Kentucky is going to Tennessee. Tennessee are 12.5-point favorites at home, and the total is 62. Tennessee obviously beat Alabama 2 weeks ago. They took care of business last week, winning by 41. And Kentucky, coming off a bye, their last win, which we gave out, as home underdogs against Mississippi State, they won by 10. This Kentucky defense looks good, Parker. I think they can make a little bit of noise, but I love Tennessee. 12.5 points is a lot. I kind of am leaning under here because I think the only way that Kentucky can really stay in this game is to kind of muck it up a little bit. They can run the ball a little, kind of slow things down. You don't want to get into a shootout with Tennessee. I mean, we saw that with Alabama. They decided to do that, and it did not work out for them at all. I think my favorite play here is going to be the under 62. I know it's scary. I've been riding a lot of Tennessee overs, but I think Kentucky, especially coming off a bye, they've had some time to prepare. I think they're going to be able to slow it down a little bit. So give me the under 62 at Tennessee. I don't love the play, but I think that's my favorite play out of what I could take.
Yeah, this is another tough one because Kentucky. That was a good pick by us, by the way, 2 weeks ago. Kentucky
Great pick.
just had a feeling, they play well in those games like that. The only problem with this game is that they are on the road at night at Neyland Stadium, and
Yeah.
it's going to be rocking like it was 2 weeks ago against Bama. Tennessee's got some kick-ass all-black uniforms they're
Oh my
wearing.
God, I forgot about the all black. Give me Tennessee minus
Oh,
12.5. Give me Tennessee.
okay. Um,
I
I
forgot
just
those, dude. I swear Nike has discovered a new shade of black, and it is so dark. Those uniforms are sick. Give me Tennessee.
and I love it, side note, take notes, Michigan State Athletic Program.
Yeah,
Um, but no, I don't know because they do have a good defense. They always have a good defense, under Mark Stoops. But these are the games where Mark Stoops just kind of comes in and he hangs around, not necessarily win them sometimes, but he hangs around these type of games. So I don't like this line either, minus 12.5. I'm not taking that because I think Kentucky might be able to keep it a little
I
close.
know.
It could
God.
honestly be a backdoor cover too.
Yep.
And I don't like this over under either. I might just sit down on this one honestly and just watch it because holy shit, this could be a game that Kentucky could surprise some people.
I agree.
I don't know. There's too many factors into this, but even though I love Hendon Hooker and I love Hyatt, I love that offense so
I
much. But
know. I know.
I have at some point there's always one game where an offense just kind of slips up a little bit. I don't know. I'm not saying anything, but I'm staying away from this game. This is all you for this one, Theo.
Okay,
So.
I respect that. I know the lines are. I don't see really, I don't see really an advantage on either side of the line or the total. So what I think I'm gonna do, Parker, since I'm all over the place. Obviously, I didn't take Tennessee. I took them because of the uniforms. This will be the final play. I'm gonna get it together here. I'm gonna take a teaser. Tennessee minus 6.5, and we're gonna go under 70 points.
Okay, I like that. That's a
little,
really good teaser.
yeah, a little bit of a teaser because I think Kentucky can slow it down a little bit. I was leaning under, giving us an extra touchdown to work with. I like it, and then I think Tennessee still wins this game by at least a touchdown. So Tennessee minus 6.5, under 70 is gonna be the play for that one for me. Next game on the slate, couple more. USC is going to Arizona. The total is what I want to talk about here, Parker. 76.5, which is insane. I can't believe it's that high. Obviously, since it is that high, I'm taking it. I'm going to take the over here. This Arizona defense is not very good. They're giving up 36 points a game, 450 yards a game. They haven't played an offense as good as USC this year. USC coming off of a bye as well. I think they are just going to roll at Arizona here. I am leaning USC for the spread. I think they win this game by 3 touchdowns, honestly. But my official play is going to be the over 76.5 because this Arizona offense is not horrible either. And USC, I mean, we've seen it. That defense is not that good. They give up some big plays. So over 76.5 on the West Coast going to be my play there.
Yeah, when I saw this over, I was just salivating at the mouth, man. I don't care what the total was. I was going to take the over regardless.
Yeah, you have to.
I mean, you got two, I think, elite offenses. If you've watched Arizona all this year, they got a transfer quarterback. I think it's DeLong or something is his name.
Yeah,
from
DeLora,
Washington State.
He's good.
Yeah, DeLora. And you know how good Washington State quarterbacks can be, especially in those high-powered offenses, those air raid offenses. He's put up points this year. I think they're averaging around like 32, 33 points a game. So, they've been pretty good on offense, but obviously their defense is absolute garbage. As well as USC's, they're not good either. But two high-powered offenses, we already know what USC can do on offense. So, I love the over 76.5 here, and I also love USC minus 15.5. I think it's going to be a blowout, and it's funny I'm saying a blowout because it's going to be two big numbers that both teams are going to put up. So
yeah, that's going to be a fun game to watch. We took some stinkers early, but now we're talking about if you love points, watch that game because there's going to be some points scored. Okay, Parker. Here we go. The game, I'm sure most of you came here to hear us talk about. Michigan State. Excuse me, let me start over. Michigan State is going to Ann Arbor to take on Michigan. Michigan are 22.5-point favorites, and the total is 55. Parker, I want you to start here. Go ahead before we get into it. I just want to hear some initial thoughts and what you're thinking about this one.
Well, really, there's not really a lot to think about in this one, Theo. You know, as being a Spartan fan for the last 15 years since I was born, essentially, all I've seen was MSU just win multiple games. D'Antonio turn the rivalry around. It's been awesome to stick it to the blue wall media, the fans, the program, the coaches, all those shit players. And it's been great. Mel's 2-0. I haven't complained once about that. He's done his job. He's really taught the players that have come through about a history lesson about what it takes to beat Michigan. But I think it all ends here, and all the excitement that's been going around, and it's rivalry and all the crap talk, and I think it's all going to end. I think this is going to resemble the 2019 Michigan-MSU game where Michigan just completely dominated on MSU the entire game for the most part. I just don't see MSU being close with them at all. MSU is giving up around 160 yards per game on the ground, which is 11th in the Big Ten, and about average in the country, where you've got Michigan who's averaging 260 yards on the ground with Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards at running back.
Yeah, and the best O-line in the country.
And it's the problem was going to be on defense. Even if you go the box against them, you got one of the worst secondaries in the country again. I don't really care if Xavier Henderson's back as safety. They're going to give up yards to J.J. McCarthy. There's just so many ways that Michigan's going to beat you on offense here. Whether it's an RPO, you got a core run up the middle to the side, you got 4 verticals down the field with Ronnie Bell and JJ running football. Because I'm looking on that side of the football field, it's going to be absolutely atrocious. Horrible. Then you go on the other side of the football, where Michigan still has a good defense, not as good as last year, but still good. I mean, they just absolutely shut down Penn State last week, shut them down. They got Mike Morris on the defensive end, who's got about 5.5 sacks this year. A nice complementary piece the last 2 years with Ojabo and Hutchinson, and now it's his time to shine. They've got a good linebacking core, and then they got Sandstrom in the back, and the DBs. Maybe MSU puts up, I'd say, 17 points here. I highly doubt it. I think they could put up maybe 14. I just don't see us running the football whatsoever. We're averaging 2.5 yards a carry. We completely suck on the O-line, and Michigan's going to have a better D-line. So they're going to win that line of battle of scrimmage. And I just think Thorne's just going to have an absolutely horrid game. I think everything's just going to go wrong for us. It's a night game. It's a yellow out. It's a maze out.
I can't believe that.
Oh God! It's gonna be a murder, a live television murder at 7:30 on ABC, folks. If you want to witness someone being murdered and put in the 6 feet under, holy shit, go watch ABC because and the thing is too, Theo, is I don't care how motivated this team is coming on East Lansing.
It doesn't matter.
This is the first time I've ever seen, and I'm ever going to see, a Michigan team that's actually pissed off at Michigan State, and they're going to actually kill us this year because of that. First time ever. I just don't take MSU anything. Take Michigan minus 22.5 and take the over 55 only because Michigan's going to put up like 45 points against us. So there you go. What do you think, Theo? Because you're probably thinking the same exact thing as me.
Well, Parker, I agree with the things that you said. First of all, before I get into my my analysis of the actual game, I think it's bullshit that this is a night game. Last year it was a top 10 matchup and we played at noon.
No, right.
I mean, I don't think that if you look on the media side, Parker, I don't think that there's anything that's more clear than pro-Michigan giving them the night game when they know that they're finally going to kick the shit out of us. I think that's bullshit, but
it is totally bullshit. And we've talked about this, and I'm talking to some people, aka Kevin Topshoe. You've got a fan base.
He loves this right now too. He loves it.
That's great. I don't care if he's watching. You got half your fan base that didn't go to the school or just roots for it because it's the great state of Michigan. And the winningest college football program of all time. That's just awesome. I mean, you're really showing your school spirit pride. How much money have you donated to your program? Oh, it's right, zero, because you didn't go to the school. So I don't know. Just my bad. Continue going, Theo.
All right. Yeah, that's bullshit. But talking about the game now, MSU's coming off a win, Parker, and we gave that out. Coming off of a win at home against Wisconsin, positive vibes. Things look better in that game. We obviously have a lot of things to work on, Parker. One thing that has been horrible this year, and I don't think there's going to be a lot of it against Michigan because they're just going to run. But 3rd and long, we've been getting murdered. I agree with the things you said, Parker. I physically cannot bet on Michigan. There's just no way I can even do anything like that. But I do really love a play here, and it's the over 55. I agree with you. I think we score a touchdown or 2, maybe 1 in garbage time. But, I mean, Harbaugh hasn't beaten Mel Tucker yet. He's sub 500 against MSU in his career. They've got us at the big house. Excuse me. This is maybe the best team he's had at Michigan, especially on the offensive side of the ball, the best O-line in the country. I don't think you can debate that anymore. If Harbaugh has the opportunity to, I really think he runs it up, and it gets ugly really fast. I think the over 55 is a great bet because I agree with what you said. I think Michigan is going to try to put up 50 on their own. MSU should be able to score a touchdown or 2. I think this game goes over. I think it goes over by a lot, personally. I think Michigan puts up a big number. I'm obviously not going to bet on them. But that's that. Kevin, I know you're smiling right now. It's whatever.
All right, whatever. Just I'll say one last thing is if there's any hope, there's none, but there's like a 99% chance no hope. But if there's any hope of the Spartans being in this game whatsoever, it's going to have to be because of some players coming back from injury. So players in the D line like Chris Vogel and Jeff Petrowski on DN. So you can have Whitman at the linebacker position, which clearly he's more comfortable in, as you saw 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Xavier's back there at safety, so he's commanding that secondary a little bit better, not by much, but I guess that's the only way. And I guess you just, I don't know. I guess you just have some tight end screens or some go routes and just throw it down the field like it was 2020 and just you throw that thing out there. But again, this is just a shot in the dark here. I mean, because my God, they're going to get their asses handed, and just, it's great they can have their white helmets and all that, but at the end of the day, just go win the fucking football game, and you're not going to, so. Are
you going to watch the game, Parker?
Of course, come on. It doesn't matter how shit we are.
I'm just making sure. I'm making sure.
I'm going to watch the game, of course I am, until it gets out of hand, and then I'm going to have about 5 million shots to get over it. So.
I think that's something around my plan as well.
So, but listen. It is what it is. I mean, if we somehow win, and I'm saying we're not, but we somehow win, I'm just going to let you know, Kevin, and all you big old media fucks. I am going to be taking it to the high seas on social media that night. So just get ready. But it's not going to happen. So.
Oh my God! I mean, there's just no way. There's no way we win.
There's not.
There's no way we win.
Okay.
But God, Kevin. Oh, if we somehow do it, jeez. Also, no rain in the forecast. That would have played in our favor.
Oh, all right. So here you go. So hey, no excuses this time. So please beat us.
God, Parker. Any other plays, Parker? That's it for me.
I'm looking at the schedule right now. There's I don't know. There's a game on here that kind of piques my interest. Cincy at UCF.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a big game. 2 pretty good offenses. You got a quarterback, 2 good quarterbacks for both teams. This is a battle for first place in the AAC. Cincy's got another good team this year, another good offense. And they're at UCF though. It's at the bounce house. Since he's -1, holy shit, man! I kind of like UCF to pull the upset here.
Dude, UCF at home. I didn't realize it until I bet against them earlier in the year. UCF at home is a different animal.
It is, and the over-under is only 55.5. So I kind of like the over on this one. They could score a lot of points, and I like UCF in the upset here. So
Yeah,
I,
wow. I
I'll
like
throw that on there last minute.
add UCF to my card. I like that play a lot. At home,
Yeah.
they're a different beast. But I think that's gonna do it. Gonna be a lot of good games on Saturday. It sucks that we got to round out the day with MSU getting clobbered, most likely. But I mean, we'll see what happens. But that's gonna do it. We appreciate you guys for listening. Before we go, you guys already know we dropped some new merch. Go ahead and check that out in the
Get your
description
merch.
down
Get your
below.
merch.
That's right. Get your merch. Also, be sure to follow us over on Pickett at Pozios Picks. You guys know about Pickett already. Track your bets automatically. See every single bet we take. Pickett's just the best app, especially NBA starting college basketball a couple weeks, Park. Things are rolling here, so I mean the betting's gonna keep rolling too. So make sure you download Pickett, get all that under control. Excuse me, it's just the best app if you're betting consistently to use to help you with your betting. That's gonna do it. Good luck to everyone on your Saturday bets. Should be a good slate of college football. Parker, thank you again for coming on, brother. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it, brother. We'll do an in-person stream soon too. So.
Yeah, in person. Look out! We got big things coming next week. So again, that's it. We will see you guys in the next one. Peace.